what do we expect from the orange and blue in DC tonight? Who the hell knows? And neither do the guys on the ice from Edmonton. Probably. We get you set for the Oilers and Capitals right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. We are live on location. Hudson's White Avenue. Come on down. Join me. I know a bunch of people said they were coming down. It's going to be great. We've already got some people on location here coming and having some wings. It's Wing Wednesday, 59-cent wings today. And then, of course, we've got our game day specials that I'm going to dive into. Of course, there's the adult Happy Meal. You've been hearing it on the commercials here on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's a drive-in burger or wings, fries, 12-ounce Henry Hudson's Draft, and an adult toy. You could double your beer for $4. The adult toy is a hockey puck bottle opener, $10 Henry Hudson's, Budweiser, Bud Light tankards, and then some Espalon tequila shots for $6. We've got Benny Thomson back at ESTHQ, back on the city's west side. And then, of course, Matt Kassian will be stopping by in a little bit with Game Changers. We're also going to hear from Taryn Bray, Washington Capitals reporter. She will check in and give us the scoop on the Caps. The Oilers looking to bounce back after a disappointing performance on Monday night in Buffalo. They have fallen to 9-8-4 on the season. The Caps sitting at 9-8-2. It is game 22 on the schedule. It is no longer early in the season. We are already at the quarter mark of the year. I've got some stats I could throw out from the National Hockey League that they sent us today, the quarter mark. Here's some league trends to fire your way really quickly as we get things going on the pregame show. 81% close games, 1-goal margin or 2+ with an empty net goal, highest rate in NHL history, and plus 9% versus previous high. 96% attendance. That is the third consecutive season at that rate and tied for second highest on record. We're seeing 6.2 goals per game, fourth consecutive season at 6 or higher at this stage. And that is a first in 31 years. 76% playing time tied or within 1 goal. That's a lot of close games. That's the highest rate in 88 years and a 10% increase versus last season. 43% comeback wins, top 3 rate in NHL history at this stage of the season, and up 8% year over year. And then the final quick stat I'll throw at you at the quarter mark of the season, 10% goals by players age 21 or younger. That's the highest share by that age since 2018, 2019. We saw a double hat trick from a couple of young superstars, Macklin Celebrini in San Jose and Connor Bedard in Chicago last night. You can text us 780-218-9999. If you're watching on YouTube, you can jump into the chat, hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate it very much. Benny Thomson checking in now. Benny, I mean, you love stats, don't you? You like those stats? Did they satisfy you?
I think they're somewhat of an accurate representation of what we've been watching.
Yes.
It's
yes.
It's a weird start. Well, actually not that weird if you compare it to others, but like we were saying on Monday, you have no clue what this team is going to do tonight.
That is correct.
No clue. Honestly, they find every single way to either win a game or lose a game. It's been pretty insane watching it, which should lead for an exciting game for tonight.
You would think.
Yeah, you would think. Washington's not the greatest in the East, but at the same time, if they go on a little heater, that all of a sudden they're like first in their division. So it's like, what do you like? You know, who knows with the East right now? So yeah, fair. It's weird right now with kind of just how we're looking at the Oilers, but I don't know. I'm excited. This was a building that the Oilers turned around their season 2 years ago, I want to say. And I'm curious to see if that's if we could see that possibly again later tonight as Tom Gazzola loses connection or is at least frozen. You can keep those texts coming in. Yeah, Benny in the stats. Thanks, Edmo. Appreciate it. Like Tom was saying, we'll hear from named Taryn Bray. She talks about the Capitals there. If Tom can figure out his, we'll disconnect him and we'll come back to him in a second. But yeah, keep those texts coming in. We'll break down this Caps game because this should be exciting. I understand that I've been a little bit more optimistic compared to others around even the office here, but let alone the nasty chat. You guys will let me know. But I appreciate it. this team, we'll see if they can turn around in a game where it's you're playing against a tough team in Washington, but they've had a bad start. We'll see how things go. I like their chances tonight. Honestly, I could totally see the Edmonton Oilers getting everyone's hopes right back up, and like it was all just these 21 games were all just a trial run. Am I right, Tom? You haven't heard me. I know I was just rambling.
I was here. Sorry.
You have the wrong mic on, by the way. You're.
Okay, I'll fix it.
Yeah, but it's a weird time, like I was saying. But I wonder if tonight's a change for Edmonton, because 2 years ago they changed their season in this building. Can they do it again tonight?
Maybe. I mean, weirder things have happened with this team, so we'll see how things go. The Oilers and the Capitals, first of two meetings. They will lock horns again here in Edmonton on January 24th. Benny, do you want to throw out your question of the night? Did you already do that while I was fidgeting around with the gear over here? Okay, let's hear it.
Question of the night is, do Trent Frederic and Tom Wilson have a conversation tonight? It was in my thumbnail. I understand. Yep. I understand Trent Frederic. He went at Olivier, okay, but it was part of it was owning up to what his bad play has been, and it hasn't been great even since then. Is this another night for him to go? Okay, that's another tough guy in the league. Make a name for himself, or maybe I'll rephrase the question: should Trent Frederic go at Tom Wilson? It was polarizing with the Matthew Olivier.
Mm-hmm.
Should he go at Tom Wilson tonight? Let us know.
We want to hear your thoughts. Get to the inbox, 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat as well. Talk was all Ben Thomson with you. I'm live on location. Hudson's White Avenue. Come on down. Say hello. I've got a few people coming down that I know of already, and hopefully a few others will join. Should be fun. Very festive in here, Benny. The Christmas tree is up. The decorations are up, and it looks really, really nice. They always do a great job in here. Big thank you to Connor and Sarah and the crew, and Jordan, who's fantastic. Oh, yeah, she's pumped up. She's getting a shout-out. She is Belzy's favorite server in any location that she's working. Alumni room, yeah, big heart, here at Hudson's, and then now at Silent Ice over at Summit, which is incredible. Oh, yeah, there you go. That... She's happy about that. So come on down, take advantage of the game day specials. 23 adult Happy Meal. It's a drive-in burger or wings, fries, 12-ounce Henry Hudson's draft, an adult toy, which is a puck bottle opener.
Good.
And you could double your beer for $4. They also have $10 Henry Hudson's tankers of Bud or Bud Light, and then some tequila shooters of Espolón for $6. 59-cent wings. It is Wing Wednesday. We'll be here all night long. All right, let's I'll just say this. I wouldn't mind seeing Tom Wilson and Trent Frederic lock horns. I think that would be highly entertaining. Let's get you into your starting lineups for tonight for the Oilers. Here's what we anticipate from them. You heard the discussion about how they'll have to go 11-7 for the rest of this road trip because they've got injuries that have piled up, and I guess they're not calling anyone up. They're up against the cap. That's an issue, obviously. So with that being said, McDavid between Savoy and Roslovic, Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Mangiapane, Henrique between Frederic and Hyman, Janmark and Tomaszek are your extra forwards. We'll see how long those lines actually last tonight. On defense, this is where it gets really interesting. Nurse with Bouchard, Ekholm with Kulak, and then Wallman with Regula. Emberson, obviously, in. They have no healthy scratches tonight as they're using everybody that is available to them. And it sounds like, at least according to Chris Knobloch, they'll do so for the next couple of games. As for the Capitals, Dylan Strome between Alex Ovechkin and Connor McMichael, Justin Sordiff, the former Edmonton Oil King, with Alexei Protas and Tom Wilson, Nick Dowd between Anthony Beauvillier and Ryan Leonard, Hendrix Lapierre between Brandon Duhaime and Ethan Frank. On defense for the Caps tonight, Martin Ferravari with John Carlson. I think I call him Martin Ferravari with John Carlson, Jacob Chikrin with Matt Roy, and then Rasmus Sandin with Trevor Van Riemsdyk. That brings us to your starting goalies for the Oilers. 27-year-old Stu Skinner, 7-5-3 this season, 286 goals against average, 889 save percentage, 1 shutout in 15 games so far. Skinner versus the Caps over the course of his career, 2-3 record, 264 GAA, 910 save percentage, 1 shutout in 5 games against Washington. That shutout coming in that game a couple of years ago that really turned around the Oilers season. That was the launch of our beer with Alley Cat, the 6 o'clocker lager, which is going to be readily available tomorrow at the client mixer at EST Global HQ, and has been doing pretty good, says Cam French from Alley Cat. So we're happy about that. Big thank you to the Nasties and everybody at Sobeys and Safeway liquor locations and anybody else who's bought it. It's a tremendous beer. All right, for the Washington Capitals at the other end of the rink, it'll be 28-year-old Logan Thomson, 7-5-1 record, 185 goals against average, 925 save percentage in 13 games this season. Thomson versus Edmonton, a 1-2-1 record with a 354 goals against average, 899 save percentage in 4 games versus the Oilers over the course of his career. That brings us to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977 for the Oilers. Noah Philp, upper body. Curtis Lazar, upper body. Kasperi Kapanen, LTIR, knee. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, IR, upper body. We're told it is a head injury. As for Washington, one big one, Pierre-Luc Dubois, he is on the IR. He has had surgery on an abductor and abdominal muscle issue, 3 to 4 months for Pierre-Luc Dubois. That is your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report. Check them out, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. All right, joining us via the phone line tonight, our game analyst, former NHLer and overall good guy, Matt Kassian. Cass, where the heck are you today?
I am. I'm outside of ringette practice, so I'll sneak back in. Yeah, I'll sneak back in there. It's these Eastern games, Tom, with kids' activities. They don't mix, so I kind of snuck out for a little bit. I'll sneak back in, but just another day at the rink in the life of a girl dad, and then we'll be hustling back home to catch the start of this one.
You've been a busy boy, and you're right. These Eastern Conference start times do wreak havoc on people wanting to watch and listen and all of those things. So we work around it, and we'll make do just fine. All right, Game Changers brought to you as always by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Cast number 1, deal with the injuries.
Yeah, well, you just read off a pretty big list. Another 2 guys going down in Philp and Lazar. Now they're depth guys, but all of a sudden injuries are piling up a little bit up front for the Edmonton Oilers. Now you have Zach Hyman coming off of the IR and being inserted back into the lineup. Nuge is still out, and guys, this is going to test your depth a little bit. Now, I'm interested to see the 11-7 tonight and how the team responds, and Emberson stepping back into the lineup, and does that help the defense? It might, but for the forwards, it's going to put some additional pressure on, and it's a depth group that hasn't been and hasn't found ways to be productive in the first place, but it just even applies a little bit more pressure to everyone that still is in the lineup. So it's on a long road trip, mentally having to deal with injuries is normal, those bumps and bruises, and being on a road routine and not being able to quite have your treatment systems. You're getting treatment at hotels and on the road at road rinks instead of having your own doctors, physios, a rink set up, facilities at home that far exceed what you have on the road. It can be a little bit stressful, and it can test you a little bit. And for an Oilers team that's just continued to find ways to confuse us. It's just an additional wrinkle thrown in here for the Edmonton Oilers, and we will see how they have to deal with it. All teams deal with stretches of injuries. Fortunately, it's only Ryan Nugent-Hopkins that's one of your top guys right now that's injured, but even those depth guys, man, that piles up and it puts the pressure on everybody else.
Well, and it forces you to do some interesting things with the lineup. I know they're up against the cap and all of that, and they're going to roll 11-7. But like Cass, this lineup tonight with these lines, and Benny, you too. Like when you guys saw these lines and heard these lines and combinations and pairings, what were you guys thinking? Benny, I'll throw it to you and then go to Cass.
Originally, when I saw the lines, I was like, "Whoa, okay, Hyman on the third line, like what? Oh, okay." And then I took a look down and saw it was 11-7, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is just placeholder stuff." I can't imagine that these lines stick together for a whole bunch of this game. Honestly, I don't mind the look of 11-7. I think get Emerson some time. Obviously, with the injuries, it's unfortunate, but this is an opportunity for a guy like David Tomaszek to step up. He's been let's face it, kind of a ghost. Before getting pulled out of the lineup, this is an opportunity for him to show that he has some value to this team, and that it'll trying to make it hard for them to pull him out when everyone's healthy. So I don't mind the lines, but it's kind of whatever. We know it's not block. It'll probably change pretty quick.
Cass,
probably. I mean,
how quickly?
That nuclear button's getting pressed 5 minutes in, if that, right?
Yeah.
Like we'll see McDavid and Draisaitl play together, and then everyone else is just going to be all over the place. Like that's going to be the only consistent that we can regularly count on here. I mean, I saw them and I was like, ooh, I didn't immediately love moving Roslovic up to that first line, because I'm like, well, if you're not going to play McDavid and Draisaitl together, that Draisaitl line is one of the few that has been regularly able to find offense and regularly look good with Podkolzin and Draisaitl and Roslovic on it. But I do understand as well, you're trying to pull some more out of other players, and maybe by moving Hyman around, you're like, well, maybe he's going to get Trent Frederic going with a supportive guy that plays a game around the net. And it's like you're maybe trying to lead the way with that. And then my brain is kind of like, but they're only going to play together for 5 minutes anyways, so what does it really matter? So there is the interesting looks, and that more interesting than the forwards, because it's like McDavid and Draisaitl are going to play a lot. That's what we know. I can tell you that with certainty. Barring injury, those guys are going to play a lot. Now, what's interesting will be how they manage the defense. Like, how are they going to manage that 7-man system? If someone's having an off night, even if it's one of your big guys, will we see Knobloch be that much quicker to say, hey, maybe have a little bit of a seat here for a couple of shifts? I'm interested to see if we get that kind of response from Knobloch from a coaching standpoint, because 7 defensemen, there's more guys, and that means less minutes for each guy if you're spreading it out. And it means if someone sucks, you're not jeopardizing the energy of everybody else because you can still spread it out through 6.
You can text us 780-218-9999. That is our inbox, or you can jump to the nasty chat, share your thoughts. And as we get into the defense and that discussion and those pairings, Box Pounder says, hey guys, who's a better D-man, Emerson or Regula? Cheers from Box Pounder. And listen, Regula was hurt for most of the year. This is a guy that had 20. He's playing his 30th NHL game tonight, and Emerson just played his first full season. He will play his 123rd NHL game tonight. Like, Cass, what would you say about that predicament with those 2 young right shot defensemen?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a predicament. I think Regula showed better at the first signs of the season, but then he just kind of let himself get run over 18 times by Evander Kane in that Vancouver game, and then has missed a good chunk of the season. So I was hoping heading into this year that Emerson would take a big step forward, and I don't know if that's been the case. I don't know if he's taken a big step forward, but there have been some moments where he's been solid, and I like some of his physicality, and Regula has been a guy at times that has shown little sparks. Most of that now, again, preseason, early season, has struggled a little bit with coming back, but I want to give him another 2 to 3 games here before we kind of see, okay, where is he actually at? Let him work his way out of the injury a little bit, because it does take time to get back to pace, especially if you're not a guy that's had, hundreds of games in the NHL and understands that process. I want to give him a little bit more time, but I think thus far this season, in the limited sample size, Regula has been a little bit better, which is why you've seen him get that first opportunity here since he's come back from injury. Both of those guys, though, I don't know if they're the solution to what's been plaguing the Edmonton Oilers, but they've also not been really the problem.
Right. Well, that brings us to point number 2, and a lot of it has to do with the defense and their lack of ability to do this so far this season. Clean exits, Cass.
Yeah, let's get going on this. The level and percentage of turnovers and the inability to generate any kind of rush attack stems from an inability to execute cleanly coming out of their own zone. They have. It's not, and it hasn't been like they've been unable to force turnovers. Like it hasn't been like they've been hemmed in for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. And I know it happened a couple times where they were against Buffalo the other day, but it's not like that's been their major issue. Their major issue is they do force turnovers. They do get the puck, and then they just turn it right back over, or they give it to somebody that's going to have nothing. And then all you're doing is you're saying, well, I'm going to have to chip it, or it's a forced turnover in the neutral zone because you don't have any speed, you don't have any support, you don't have any kind of mojo coming out. Like, you're not a threat exiting your own zone. And an area that the Edmonton Oilers have to dramatically clean up. And that starts with the defenseman. Now, that there is obligation on the forwards to get back in support and to put yourself in a good position to receive a pass. And I do think that the forwards have not been doing that cleanly either. Like, they haven't been helping the situation. With that being said, more onus to me still falls on their defense and their inability to do that. So if they can start to clean up their exits, Tom, it goes a long way. And Washington is playing a stingy style of game this year. They're not scoring a ton, but they're playing pretty healthy, solid, stable defense. And it's the same as playing, other teams that generally have solid defenses, in that you got to have speed, you got to be threatening. And if they don't exit the zone cleanly, they're going to be spending way too much time in their own zone, which is what we've seen a lot of when they're struggling recently.
Very true. Very true, Cass. All right, that's point number 2. Clean exits. It is Game Changers, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Point number 1, deal with the injuries. Point number 2, clean exits. Point number 3, with our game analyst, Matt Kassian, get mean. And the question of the night from Benny Cass was, do we see an encounter between Trent Frederic and Tom Wilson?
No, I don't think we do. And the reason I don't think we do is I think Tom Wilson, he plays the game fast, plays it physical, puts the puck in the net, but he's going to look at this and go, why would I fight Trent Frederic? That's what the bottom line at this point. Now, if Trent Frederic had put up six goals this year, if Trent Frederic was being an absolute menace, like hitting guys, physical, just a pest, and in front of the net, digging at the goalie, driving people nuts, like if he was playing the game that way, then I'd say maybe. But for right now, unless Frederic does something to instigate it, like if he does something like that, well, maybe it happens. But aside from that, if I'm Tom Wilson, I'm going, well, why would I do that? I'm just going to go run around. I'm going to hit everybody. And you could take a penalty trying to fight me, but why would I take myself off the ice? I score goals. I make a difference, and you're doing diddly squat. So, no, I don't think we see it because Trent Frederic has not been playing to the level that's going to force the issue. Now, there is always the chance that he does, like that Frederic either through play or by forces the issue. Now he's going to have to walk a line with that. Does he hit somebody? Does he bump somebody? Does he bump the goalie? Does he do something to prompt the response? Maybe, but we haven't seen that or very much of that spark from him this year. So I would, if I had to pick, will we see it? Won't we see it? I'm probably not going to see it.
Fair enough. But how do you want to see the Oilers get mean then?
I want to see them get mean in front of the nets. And Frederic, that if he does get in a fight with Tom Wilson or some kind of encounter, it probably would be because of something like this. I the play in front of both nets, offensive and defensive, has been puppy poo soft, right? Like just flaccid. And yes, I understand there's lots, and with the goalies, and some of the goalies like you to front a little bit more or to get out of the way so you're not screening. I understand that. I'm not talking about that. But what I'm talking about is that moment after the shot comes, is they have not been physically engaged.
Right.
Like when is the last time we saw in front of Edmonton's net, a puck go there and like bodies on the ice? Not from Oilers trying to block it, but from Edmonton being like, no, we're here and you're going to have to go through us. And if you try to go through us, we're going to be stronger than you. We're going to make you pay a price to get here. And this is our net. This is our crease. This is our slot. This is our house. This is our area of the ice that you're not coming into. And on the flip side, how often have we seen Edmonton's forwards take that same sort of motivation or that same sort of mindset towards the offensive net, to where it's like, no, they are the ones that aren't being denied. We like look at how many goals they have scored recently. Now, can you guys think, aside from you kind of had like the gritty Zach Hyman one the other day, but how many goals have they scored recently, guys? 5-on-5.
None.
Around the net, gritty, greasy goals, deflection, scramble for a puck, second opportunity, jam it once, doesn't go in, jam it twice, doesn't go in, stick with it, jam it the third time, and it finds a space and gets in there. Like, we haven't seen any of that. And
they don't score like that.
And so no. And I understand at times, McDavid and Draisaitl, they're not going to be the guys that do that. And that is fine. But everybody freaking else needs to find a way around that net to get there and to get aggressive around the net, to get hard to play against around the net, to take a cross check to try to score a goal. Like, and you're missing some of the guys that maybe have the ability to do that a little bit, in like a Philp and a Lazar. But I'm looking, I'm looking at you, Frederic. I'm looking at you, Mangiapane. Like, I'm like, get around the net. Get around the net, be hard to play against in front of the net, like find gritty goals, find greasy goals, because 5-on-5, your play hasn't been cutting it. You've left way too much out there from an opportunity standpoint, from a second chance standpoint, because there hasn't been much good play around the net for the Edmonton Oilers. So yeah, you got to get mean there, get your hands a little dirty, take a lump or two, but guys, like, just do something around the front of the net. Like, please just do something, because that has just been sorely missing and lacking in this group.
You're begging them, do something. Coach
No,
Mike
I'm getting a
Texas
little story, guys. I'm getting fired up about this. Like,
I'm
the more I'm
enjoying
talking
this.
about it, I'm just like, this is why this is an issue. I'm just, it sees anger in me, because it's just like, we haven't seen it. I'm like, guys, just go there.
Those poor girls, when you go back on the ice for ringette practice, are going to be doing laps right away.
Yeah.
So let's calm you down. Coach Mike throws this at us via the inbox. Says, I think the Oilers play guilty. I think they get a win tonight. That's from Coach Mike. After getting their butts kicked on Monday, Cass, will they feel the shame and guilt of that loss, do you think, real quick?
I sure hope so. I hope they feel guilty. I hope they give us a game. Who knows? The consistency is only consistent in that they're horribly inconsistent this season. So I don't know. in a normal good team, or a great team, you have an outing like that, and with certainty that next game is going to be on fire. Like, that's even I look back to that one game when they played Columbus, and it's like, you got absolutely spanked by Colorado the night before. Like, generally on the other side, and I had a conversation with one of the players from Columbus, and he was like, oof, like, these are the type of games when you're coming in as a visiting team and you're like, oh man, like, they got beat so badly last time, like, that you just know that they're going to be chomping at the bit for redemption. But we haven't felt that yet this year from the Oilers. So I don't know. I hope so. In theory, it should be, but who knows? Because this Oilers team has been unpredictable at the least this season.
Very, very true. All right, Cass, get those wheels back on, hop on the ice, and teach those girls some ringette, and then we'll catch up with you on the post-game show.
Yeah, I might take a couple minutes just to calm myself down first, and then I'll get back out there.
Maybe you need to do a couple of hard laps first.
I probably do, yeah.
Okay, Cass, we'll see you on the post-game.
Sounds good.
There you go. There's our game analyst, Matt Kassian, with Game Changers, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, check him out, damonbunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Benny, what did you think of what Cass had to say? He was getting kind of salty there and spicy. I liked it.
I love it. If only the Oilers had some of that type of fire.
Right, a little jam.
Yeah, I 100% agree with his point in front of the net. Like that's been a point I've been trying to prove too. Is just like they just don't have the same net front presence that they once did. You know what I mean? And maybe that's personnel change, right? With Kane and Perry gone, and then Zach Hyman missing the majority of this season, but. You need to find a way. You know, like he said, Mangiapane, Frederic. I'd even look at Tomasek. You're a big guy. Go stand in front of the net. Go cause some havoc, right? I think Podkolzin does a solid job at it. I just think he lacks the awareness of when, the finish of it, right? Yeah. The net front. It's honestly it's that home plate in front of the net that the Oilers need to dominate more. That you can't keep this cycling outside, dipsy doodle, shot from here. Like, get greasy, get hard. Try to win a game just a greasy way. Just score some goals where you're jamming at a goalie's pad on the third try. You poke it in. Yes. You know what I mean? Like we don't see those from the Oilers right now. So yeah, I 100% agree with this point there. It's disappointing to see their net front presence so far, but. They got a lot of runway in the season still to change that, and hopefully they do.
All right, I'm just looking at Mangiapane. This is also his return to Washington. Played just one season there. 14 goals, 14 assists, 28 points, 24 PIMs, and an even rating. Played 10 playoff games, a goal and an assist, and 14 penalty minutes. And nobody's really talked about that. And I think his 7 points in 21 games and -15 is a reason why it's like, he's making his return. Sure. I don't think they're going to do a video on the Jumbotron for him. Let's see if he can remind them of the type of player he once was in Calgary. All right, let's go to this text. It says, I actually don't think 7 defense is a bad approach right now. Might be able to sit a guy down. As for the forward lines, feels like they're grasping at straws, but we know 2 things. 1, can't get much worse than it's been for generating offense. 2, they'll last until they're down 2-0. Hell, maybe even 1-0. Great text there. All right, we're going to go inside the Oilers locker room. We're going to hear from Chris Knobloch from earlier today, and then we're also going to catch up with Taryn Bray, Washington Capitals reporter. She's going to get us up to speed on the Caps as the Oil and the Caps clash for the first of 2 meetings this season. They will reconvene in Edmonton on January 24th. You can text us 780-218-9999. Share your thoughts via the nasty chat on our YouTube channel as well. All right, here's Knobloch and then Taryn Bray.
Some significant changes to maybe your look today. Let's start on defense. 3 new pairings. Though Nurse has played at times with Evan Bouchard, but just the thought process into Jake Wallman over on the left side and Brett Kulak on the right side and Darnell with Evan.
Yeah, the D pairs for Morning Skate are going to be a lot different than in the game just because we've got 7 defensemen, so there's going to be a lot of rotation there. We'll expect Kulak to play some left and right side, probably Wallman too. But now that we're in a situation where we have to go 11-7, probably for the next 3 or maybe 4 games, that's what we're doing.
So you're capped out. You've got a couple players that are not on the ice today. What can you tell us about Noah Philp and Curtis Lazar and why they're not out there?
Upper body injuries, they'll be out for this road trip and, possibly return of sometime next week.
Okay, different forward combinations as well. Jack Roslovic up with Connor. Just a thought as to sort of what's going on there.
Well, now that we're down to 11 forwards, felt that we'd spread out the scoring with, with our 3 lines, Hyman playing with Henrique. Obviously, they haven't played together this year, but there was some chemistry last year between those 2. So hopefully they can rekindle that and give us 3 strong lines.
Chris, with the lineup changes and the configuration, what are you trying to maximize from your group here tonight?
A little more push, just shift in, shift out. Just not taking the foot off the gas. And yes, there's going to be times where Washington has their chances, but ultimately we need to, each line giving us a little more, setting up the next line. And, I think that ultimately starts with puck execution, making plays and not giving it away, but not also, there's been a lot of talk about giving away, but just the fact of just making a pass tape to tape so the next guy can make his next play.
I know you guys don't play them often, but what do you notice about the Capitals specifically? How do you game plan it looking at the film and all that?
Well, very strong 5-on-5 team, defensively and offensively. One of the top teams on the metrics. I know this year the special teams has been kind of letting them down, power play, penalty kill, but they've got a little bit of an injury, but other guys stepping up and playing well. But a team that skates really well, and they use all four lines and play with a lot of intensity.
You learn a lot through the ups and downs of the season, but when you're coming off the result that you guys are on Monday, what kind of details does that kind of accentuate for you guys to making sure that you guys start rectifying that beginning with game 22?
Yeah, a lot of things. Puck movement, passing, but also digging in and playing better defensively. And, that's also a system thing. That's also individual winning your battle thing. So, giving up way too many chances in a lot of games. You go back to Colorado, and since then, maybe the Flyers game we defended well, but other than that, we got to get a better defensive game if we're going to have success.
When it comes to Alexander Ovechkin, everybody asks about his goals, 903 goals, but when you think about 1,511 games, well, including the one tonight, what kind of comes to your mind when he's able to sustain success throughout 1,500 games?
Yeah, for him to have the career that he's had and not, scoring goals is tough. It's a toughest thing to do in the NHL, and the fact that he's been able to do it so consistently for so many years is remarkable, to say the least.
You guys are going up against Logan Thomson, who's been one of the best goaltenders in the league thus far this year. What have you seen from him when you turn on the film?
Yeah, guy is very confident. He's an aggressive goalie, and like with every goalie, to have success, you usually have to get bodies around him. You need to tip pucks, make it a little uncomfortable for him so he can't see those pucks. Because when he's playing as well as he is, he's probably in position, he's moving well, so we just have to do our best to make it a little more uncomfortable for him.
All right, this has been a long time coming. For the first time ever on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, Taryn Bray, Caps reporter, joining us. Thanks, Taryn. I blame you for making this be an excruciatingly long wait. Explain yourself.
No, I absolutely take the fall for this. For background, everyone listening, Tom and I have been trying to do a segment together before a Caps Oilers game for 5 years, 6 years, something like that. It doesn't work out. And tonight he asked me, can you come on? There's no way, right? And after he said it in that way, I was like, I'm going to make it work this time so he has nothing else to say after this. So here we are.
Well done. It was a very pessimistic, do I even ask you? And what a pleasant surprise. Okay, well, let's get into it. I was very surprised you took ownership of that, too. I thought you were going to dump on me for it. That's usually what happens. So that's appreciated. Thank you, Taryn. Okay, so Oilers and Caps.
It's your show, okay?
It is.
I'm letting you have this one.
Thank you. I'll happily hop on whatever show you need me to anytime. Okay. So there you go. All right. So this game tonight, a lot of people around Edmonton are not happy with the way the Oilers are playing at 9-8-4. The Caps are at 9-8-2. And when you look at the standings, it doesn't look good. But then you look up the standings, Taryn, and there's not a lot of wiggle room. It's super tight. What's going on with the Caps so far?
Yeah, they started out really well to open up the season. And then kind of the last week of October and into now, they've really slipped. Hasn't been going their way. A big injury hit with Pierre-Luc Dubois. And the team is kind of trying to still find its identity. Hasn't really been able to find their footing after the first couple of games where they came out looking good, felt the same as they did last year. And then ever since then, it's kind of gone downhill. But the last 4 games, Caps are 2-1-1. So maybe the tide is turning. They're finding their footing, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. And, it's an important stretch of hockey here right now for the Capitals. A lot of points to collect in the next 2 weeks. So hopefully they're optimistic. I mean, the one thing about this team is that they're never down on themselves. You talk to anyone in that locker room, they have belief, they have the confidence. Even if things aren't going their way, they're never dejected. And you can't ask for anything more than that. Obviously, they'd like to be winning games, but as long as the vibes are up and they still feel like they can play better, that's all you can hope for. And, won a big game on Monday night against one of the top Western Conference teams. So hopefully here, push that rolling.
We know the LA Kings very well in Edmonton. So, yeah, that is a good veteran team with a lot of familiar faces that were in orange and blue for a while. Okay, I'll throw this at you because this came up today on one of our morning shows. It was the idea that last year there was kind of that carrot dangling in front of the Caps with Ovechkin breaking the goal-scoring record. And maybe this year it's not the same type of motivation. What would you say to people that would suggest something like that?
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, and the team exceeded expectations. We brought in 6 or 7 new guys last year, core pieces too, not just, pieces on the side. So no one really knew what to expect from this team going into last year and exceeded expectations, went to the second round of the playoffs in 2018 since they won the Cup. So that was a big kind of movement for them after not making the playoffs, kept losing round 1. And a lot of these guys turned out to be great fits for the team. And a lot of people didn't really know what to expect coming into that. So by all accounts, they did exceed expectations. But if you ask the guys on the team, they didn't. So they knew what they could do. They knew what they were capable of. And they still feel that way this season. I mean, this team is really not that different. There was a couple pieces added here and there and that we lost, but the core of this team is the same. So the capability is there, what they could do last year. The chase, of course, adds a little bit of extra juice, extra oomph to this team. They were all, I mean, the vibes have never been better in that locker room, leading up to the chase and then after. So that obviously plays a part in it, but they still have the same group of guys, the same capabilities. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 guys are older and they're not feeling as fast, but at the core of it, this group still has the potential to be really good. And they're still, like I said, the Pierre-Luc Dubois injury to some looking at this team, maybe not big of a deal, but it's really hard to overstate just how important defensively he is for this team. And so the loss of that has been pretty big, and trying to figure out where those lines net out and who plays center where, because coming into this season as well, that third line center spot was really a question mark, and it wasn't a spot we were able to fill by bringing guys in. So we were looking at who to fill that internally. And the solution for a little while was moving Connor McMichael from the wing to the center. And we've tried a couple different guys in that spot, and nothing has really stuck. And I think once that missing piece kind of finds its spot, then this team will look a lot better. And last game, they shuffled the lines even more, something that we've never seen is Nick Dowd moving up to that third line, which they will roll again tonight. So maybe that will be the answer. And we'll see tonight if they can kind of keep that up. But these guys, they have the belief. And, Obi had a slow start to the season. And I think it's pretty obvious that the Caps win when Obi scores. And so there was a long time when he wasn't scoring. He was in a drought. He's on a streak now, and he's playing better. And whenever he's playing better, the team plays better. So that's also a key part. And I think he'll get going now, and they'll find their way around it.
Caps reporter Taryn Bray joining us now as we get you set for tonight's action. Speaking of core injury for Pierre-Luc Dubois, he had surgery. What's the timeline like? What did we get from Spencer Carberry?
About 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Surgery was probably about a week and a half ago. So we're looking at, I would say, post-Olympic break for sure, just to give him some of that time to get back. But it's not season ending. He will be back before playoffs. So it's not really a situation maybe where you want to go out because he'll be out until playoffs and go get something. So I think front office, Spencer Carberry, they're kind of seeing how things play out until the trade deadline and see where we net out there before going out and doing any, rash decisions or making any moves and giving up picks or prospects that you're not necessarily going to play with.
Yeah, and it creates an opening for a guy that we're familiar with a little bit here in Edmonton, and that's Justin Sordiff. How has he fit in? I mean, he was an Oil King when they had a great team a few years ago. He was a big trade deadline acquisition in the WHL for the Oil Kings, and it was a pretty good trade, and it worked out well for them. How has he adapted to the National Hockey League?
As of late, he has really found his game. Spencer Carberry has been extremely, the praise that he gives Justin Sordiff and the transition that he's made to getting real NHL minutes and an opportunity has been great. He has also been one of those guys that has shifted wing to center, back and forth, because he has played that position before. And like I said, we have been in need of center depth and someone to step up and take that ownership of that position. As of Monday night's game, he was centering the fourth line since, like I said before, Nick Dowd shifted up. And so we'll see that again here tonight. But everyone has been super impressed with him. He's fast. He's good on the puck. I mean, he has just, by all accounts, really come here and shown why he deserved this spot in the NHL. And kind of surprising that he never really got that shot before, but he is young, so there is still time to grow into it. But everyone here has been super impressed with him, and I think he has a lot of room to grow, and he has a high ceiling that can be super helpful for this team.
Yeah, that's great to hear, too, because you always kind of wonder, it's like, what happened to that guy that was here for a little bit? Yeah. And when you see them finally emerge in the NHL, it's nice to see. Okay, a couple of guys that have been really good for this team that I'd like you to share some thoughts on. Tom Wilson, who a lot of people in Canada wanted to see on that Four Nations face-off team. They're talking about him for the Olympic team. Really like what he's bringing to the table and what he could bring at the Olympic stage. And then Logan Thompson in net, his numbers just outstanding. What can you tell us, Taryn, about those two guys?
There's not enough that I can say about both of them. I'll start with Logan Thompson. I mean, the quality of play that he has shown this season, it's really a shame that we haven't been able to, in front of him to score and get those wins for him, because his numbers are elite. I mean, look at everything. He's number one in goals saved above expected in all situations, number one in even strength, top save percentage leaders with a minimum of 8 games played. So all of his numbers are telling you that he's an elite goaltender. And both of those guys, there was a little bit of shock. They were left off the Four Nations teams, and now they're both getting their respect that they've earned. We've had Team Canada in the building a couple times here over the last couple of weeks, checking out these guys, and I think he's really making a case for being on that team, wearing that crest, and being the starter. Honestly, I mean, if you look at the other guys that he's fighting for those spots against, I mean, Logan is outplaying them. His numbers speak for himself. He is just a steady, body in net for us when we need to. And like I said, again, it's a shame that we haven't been able to get more wins for him, but he has been there. He's keeping us in game too. That's the thing. Some of these games, they could have run away with it, but he's keeping us within 1 or 2 goals. And he's been, the steady netminder for us, getting most of those starts. Last season, him and Charlie Lindgren were really splitting a lot of these games. This year, they said that Logan Thompson deserved most of the starts, and that's what he's been getting. But again, I can't say enough about what he's done for this team. And that was a huge trade when we made for him before last season, needing a guy to come in and really step up, and he's done that for us. And then on the other side of the coin, Tom Wilson, I don't even have enough positive words to say about him. He's just everything to this team. He is a leader, physical, obviously scoring last year, first 30-goal season. He will probably do that again this season. He's just out there every single night grinding, getting goals in important, spots where we need someone to get this team going, and he's the one who's out there, whether it's he's making a hit and then he's going down and scoring or whatever it is. He's the guy that goes out there, creates that spark, and turns the tide of this game for us. And he's everything to this team. He is really the core of this group, along with obviously Alex Ovechkin and John Carlson. But this team wouldn't be where they are today without Tom Wilson. And snub last year perhaps as well, but does he belong on that team again? I think so.
I think so, too. It would make the best international hockey team in the world even better. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, facts, Taryn, facts. I mean, that maple leaf looks good with gold wrap around it. And we'll probably see that again in Milan. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm maybe a little bit biased.
Well, it's funny because last year at Four Nations, you had all this talk about people after seeing Canada play. They really could have used a guy like Tom Wilson. Yes. They really could have used a guy. And it's true. What he brings is invaluable. There is no other player out there like him. And I just don't see how you leave him off of a team in the Olympics for the first time that you're representing Canada in, 11 years, is it? When's the last time? I mean, it's been forever. I think you got to have him on there. His intangibles are just unmatched.
I'm surprised you didn't push back on the best hockey nation. The U.S. is pretty good, but we'll dust our shoulders
Tom,
off.
what do you expect? I'm American.
I know. I thought you were going to say something like, what are you talking about? We're going to win it. So.
I'm not going to agree with you, but I'll just let it play out.
Okay, fine. That's very polite of you. Very Canadian of you, if you will.
There you go.
All right, Taryn Bray with us. One more for you. I know he is setting, every time he scores, he sets the new goals record in National Hockey League history. But, we saw him change or trade jerseys with Andrzej Kopitar the other day. We know Kopitar's done playing. And Greg Wyshynski was on yesterday or this morning with our morning show, and he's like, when you see Ovechkin trading jerseys with guys, makes you kind of worried. And so is he sticking around? Or are we going to get more?
If you think
Ovechkin?
I'm going to come on here and break news, you're wrong.
Why not?
That's not happening. You're not getting that out of me.
Okay.
No, in all seriousness, he has not indicated any way of what is happening. I think a lot of people are reading into the jersey swaps. I mean, he did that in Pittsburgh the other night with Malkin and Crosby. And if you think about it, why wouldn't these guys want to swap jerseys with the greatest goal scorer of all time? I mean, some of you guys haven't seen him since he broke that record. So I think the jersey swap thing, you can look into it. You could read into it, whatever it is. I think he would swap jerseys. He's been doing that. I mean, he's a collector, as everyone knows. He's collecting 6 pucks, jerseys, whatever it is. So I just don't think that people reading into that should pay attention. We'll see how the season goes, but he's still out there having fun and scoring goals. I mean, what more can you ask from him?
Yeah, he is super exciting. Has been from day one in the NHL. The over-under is set at 6.5 at Play Alberta, our presenting sponsor here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Do you think we see over 7 goals tonight, or is it going to be low scoring? Because the Oilers have a tough time getting more than 3 on most nights.
Yeah. No, I think, especially as of late for us, last season we were scoring big. We were winning games big. This season it's been different. We've been keeping things tight. So I don't think we see that number. I think we keep it under 7 from both sides. I think it'll be low scoring.
All right. Those games can be entertaining too, if you get lots of opportunities and high danger chances and all that. So we're not saying it's going to be a boring game. We're just saying maybe low scoring.
Never.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Hey, you're a busy girl. You're going to be doing your pregame work. I appreciate you hopping on. This wasn't so bad, was it?
Oh man, it was tough.
Yeah, I bet. We're both sweating here. I'm just kidding. Tara, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it. Have a great game.
Yep. Thanks, Tom. Nice to talk to you.
Bray, Washington Capitals reporter. Benny, I tried for years to get her on. It just didn't work out. And then finally, and the Oilers don't face the Caps that often, just twice a year. So she was great.
Yeah. No, she you were so, I like the, she wasn't going to break if Ovi's retiring after this year is pretty funny. I mean, like,
I tried.
Yeah, no, that would have been some pretty groundbreaking news. But I don't think anyone knows, honestly, except him. If he's gonna retire, but yeah, it's pretty damn cool to see what we're witnessing, the all-time goal scoring leader play right now. It's pretty cool to watch him play. So it's a cool storyline.
I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing him get to 1,000 goals.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I think that'd be neat. Yeah. All right, that was Taryn Bray, Washington Capitals reporter. Great stuff from her. I'm going to rattle off a few more texts. Dirk says, who the hell scouted Frederic in the first place? He's a ghost, and that scout should be fired. I will, like Dirk, I'm not going to argue with you, but I will remind everybody that the fan base, a vocal portion of it, clamored for Trent Frederic going into the deadline last year, and I was like, okay, if they get the guy that scored 17 and 18 goals a few years ago, then absolutely, and adds a little bit of jam, and it just hasn't really panned out. BMAC says, we need a Corey Perry. He's been really good. David Section T says, when asked about Roslovic and McDavid, he answers with Henrique and I'm confused. Was wondering why Roslovic no longer withdraw. I think that's what Stoff wanted to get at. Thoughts? Yeah, you know what? He probably just wanted to say whatever he wanted to say and didn't really care about the question. Or Benny, and sometimes this happens, you just forget the first part of the question. It can happen.
Yeah.
And then this text says, what does she mean? We. I know. I heard it too. But Darren very much works for the Capitals, and they use we a lot in that situation. She was fantastic, though. Absolutely. All right, Benny, final thoughts from you going into this game tonight.
Can we see a regulation win tonight for the Oilers? Please?
I don't know.
I mean, they're tied for last in regulation wins in the NHL. Come on. Like it sounds easier than I think it is for this Oilers team. Can we see one tonight? I don't know how confident I am.
Concept. Yeah, I'm with you, pal. I'm with you.
I'd like to see them get a win tonight.
Sure, it's possible that they win in regulation. What someone texted in earlier in the day, like, guys, have you realized this? It's been 3 weeks since they won in regulation. Feels like it. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Shout out to VR Montenegro, who has arrived, and I think DVD and a few others will be joining us. It's been a fun pregame show. A huge thank you to Taryn Bray from the Washington Capitals, their reporter, joining us for the first time on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Thank you to everybody who listened and watched. And for Cass, who is coaching Ringette right now, he'll be back on the post-game show. And for Benny Thomson, I'm Tom Gazzola saying hour number 3, or the final hour of the Reid Wilkins show, coming up next, right after this commercial break, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Join us for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Reid, Jay, and Coob to wrap up until the 6 o'clock hour right after this.
The Lock Shop.
Another shot from the morning show towards the Lock Shop. That's all I'm going to say.
That's not the case. It's not the case.
Yeah. Baptized Big Uke, host number 4, calling out the Lock Shop. Classic Dusty.
Host number 4. Come on, you guys.
Going forward, it should be the Lock Shop with Dustin Nielsen, Matthew Wanick, and Huss.
Shut up, Hernan.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation with options for every style and budget. Open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Get ready for a feast like no other. 40-ounce steak night is back this November at the Canadian Brewhouse. Sink your teeth into a hand-cut 40-ounce ribeye with all the fixins for just $49.99. Tickets available now in store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Chris Johnson joined us.
The Oilers are in a unique spot. It has not been a good first quarter part of the season. I'm not here to try to sell you a monorail and say, hey, what you're watching, it's actually looks a little better than what you're seeing. I do still think that they're going to be a team that's the buyer as the deadline approaches. I do think that there's help coming, but that help, when's it going to arrive? The trade deadline's March 6th. That help might still be 3 months away from coming through the door.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
this show might have the might not have the raw sex appeal of Tom Gazzola, but it's going to be pretty good nonetheless.
We could try.
Jay Milne, Reid Wilkins back with you. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Great job by Tom Gazzola, Ben Thomson, Matt Kassian, GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, getting you ready for the Oilers and the Capitals. See, I hate this. McDavid versus Ovechkin. It's a team game. How often are Connor McDavid and Alexander Ovechkin going to check each other tonight? Possibly 0 times.
But Reid, they have popcorn.
Luke Gazdic has popcorn.
I
just saw that. Luke saw it on Friday. I'm gonna be like, you tell them.
Yeah.
You tell them. Don't make it about individuals. It's a team game.
I want to ask them about the popcorn.
Though it's worse when they do it with quarterbacks.
Right.
It's like, Mahomes versus Burrow. If they're on the field at the same time, it's the weirdest trick play in ever. Like what?
What do you think about the whole green screen?
I can't even do anything.
What do you think about the whole green screen look? Where
too fake.
Like
I got in a really sour mood in the last hour.
Yeah,
What did I do?
We've soured.
I've soured.
I think the fumes from me cleaning the bathrooms are affecting me.
I shouldn't have been like, hey, I shouldn't have shut my head in the bowl when the cleaner was still in there.
Yeah, it was noxious.
We are, of course, presented by Play Alberta. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instant, and sports betting all in one place. Players can get a $50 casino bonus by depositing $50 and using the code EST Casino. You can get a $50 free sports bet by depositing $50 using the code EST Sports. Don't forget to use your game sense, as we will indeed keep an eye on the Oilers and the Capitals. We're with you until 6 o'clock. Tom will return with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show after the game. There is an Edmonton hockey team that is doing great, and we want to talk about them. Checking in, I'm not getting to see where he's checking in from. I want to see if he knows where he is, because
it's a mystery.
He's been traveling so much lately. We're going to the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Oil Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team, fast, safe, and reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. He's the play-by-play voice for the Edmonton Oil Kings. It's Matt Barrett. Matt, how are you doing?
Doing wonderful, boys. How are you guys?
And where are you? Well, I'm great. Where are you?
Let me look. Oh, right. We're in Kelowna tonight. My bad. Yeah, we're in Kelowna tonight.
And tell us about last night's game. Is this 9 in a row for the Oil Kings? Man.
9 in a row now. And last night was maybe I guess you could say maybe one of the tighter ones on this 9-game winning streak, outside of maybe the first one in Medicine or against Medicine, not one of the first ones of this stretch. So last night it was a battle. I mean, Edmonton pulled out to a 3-1 lead there at one point in the second period, and it looked like they had kind of in the third period had their way with the game, and then all of a sudden a power play to Penticton, and boom, it's in the back of the net within 5 seconds of the power play. And then 16 seconds later, the same guy goes down on a breakaway and scores, and all of a sudden it's 3-3, and you're like, what just happened? And, Jason Smith calls a timeout, settles the boys down, and they had some pressure late in the third period, and Blake Fiddler gets the job done in overtime, and this team just continues to find ways to win hockey games, no matter if they're up, if they're down, if they're tied. It doesn't matter. They seem to keep finding ways to win.
So we talked to you before this journey. We talked to you when the Oil Kings were going into Medicine Hat. Now, you did come back to Edmonton after that game, right? But it was a road game. So then a win in Kamloops, a win in Victoria, a win in Vancouver, a win in Penticton, in Kelowna tonight, and then what's the rest of this road schedule before you're home?
Prince George on Saturday, and then come back and then play a quick little up and down to Red Deer before being at home on Sunday, November 30th against the Saskatoon Blades. So
not the 30th. Okay. It's like, but you're winning every game. So, I mean, you mentioned Fiddler. We know who's great. We know he's great. He's a remarkable WHL player. Who else has sort of really stepped up here during this winning streak?
Well, during this 4-game trip through BC, Lucas Sauchin has 3 games where he's had 3 points, including his first career hat trick. So he's been pretty electric over this trip. Max Curran continues to just consistently put up numbers. Ethan McKenzie has been arguably, maybe he is, I should just say he is maybe the best defenseman in the WHL. He's been tremendous for this group, scores big goals when they need it. Each game, like you could tell me it's been a different guy. You know, Ethan McKenzie was great in Victoria. He was kind of the star there. And, you know, it was last night, it was, you know, Blake Fiddler had the OT winner. And, you know, you just keep going down the list. It's every night it's somebody different that seems to have a big night.
Okay. What's going on? Are there a couple siblings going head to head tonight?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but Joe Iginla and Tej Iginla are playing against each other for the first time tonight. So that'll be pretty exciting. You know, both, you know, high-end players in the WHL. And, you know, I think last year when Kelowna came into town, Tej was hurt. So obviously we didn't get the matchup then, so we get it this year. But also newest Oil King, Konju Goisic, and his brother Hiroki on the other side get to play against each other for the first time. And Konju, oddly enough, played with Kelowna to start this year and last year. So the storylines just continue to keep piling up for this game. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Sorry, what the second set of siblings, where are they from?
They're from they're from BC. They're from the inland.
They're
Langley.
BC guys. Okay.
So yeah, and Konju joined the team basically as they started this road swing. So he is fresh with the Oil Kings, and I'm sure, you know, tonight's probably one he's really looking forward to.
Okay.
Matt Barrett, Oil Kings play-by-play, joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I took the time to put together the amount of kilometers traveled on this road trip, and that number is 3,270 kilometers. When you go from the start all the way from Prince George back home to you know 3,200 kilometers. Matt, do you know that could get you from Edmonton to Dallas, Texas? That amount of kilometers. Really? Facts. That is a fact. Now, my question to you, you get on the bus, you hunker down into that chair, you're settled in. I mean, the trip from Prince George, that's probably going to be your longest trek of the trip, I would imagine. That is quite a feat. But what are you settling into? I mean, is this a time for Matt Barrett to catch up on some shows? Are you strictly, you know, sticking to the Oil Kings and staying, you know, hot on the game, watching tape? What are you doing on the bus?
A lot of it's like catching up on some work too, like prep for the next game, getting game notes and writing stories, things like that is a lot of what I'm doing on the road. We are so lucky to have like a really good like internet system on the bus, so we're able to get some work done. But I'm a little bit of a show guy, a Netflix guy. I'll stick the earphones in. I started the Shane Gillis show on Netflix, Tires it's called. It's been pretty funny, so that's one I've started. And sometimes a movie here and there, things like that. I rewatch a couple shows, like I'm a big Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan, so things like that, and The Rookie. So I usually rewatch some shows. I'll doom scroll a little bit, but that's once all the work is completed. Okay.
Now, the Oil Kings, and I know I always say to you when I ask about the rankings, like they're the rankings that it combines teams from different leagues, but the Oil Kings are ranked 4th in the CHL, but 2 of the teams ahead of them are also in the Western Hockey League. So is this like I don't know if you guys have seen PA. I don't think you've seen Everett yet. No. But just tell me about these powerhouse teams at the top of the dub.
Yeah, PA is really good. We Edmonton went out to PA there a couple weeks ago now, basically a month ago now, and won in overtime. So that was a really good test for this group. It was a battle. It was definitely playoff hockey. It had that feel to it with the intensity, the way both teams were playing. They didn't want to give up anything, so that was really exciting to watch. Prince Albert is no slouches at all. They've found a goalie now by the look of things in Mikael Orsulak. So they seem to be a team that's ready to make a run, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try and load up for something here and look to make a trade. And, Everett is just, you know, high octane. They go. They score a bunch. They've got Landon DuPont. They've got all these guys that can score. We'll wait and see when they come to Edmonton in the new year, and that'll be, I guess, calendar viewing for fans to watch, because that could definitely be a preview. You know, in the WHL playoffs, PA Edmonton could be a preview as well in the playoffs. So those are definitely 2 of the powerhouses, along with the Edmonton Oil Kings in this Western Hockey League right now.
All right. So the game tonight, Oil Kings at Kelowna, 7 Pacific, so 8 Mountain. So actually, people could pull a doubleheader. How could people listen to you call the Oil Kings game tonight?
iHeartRadio is the place to find me if you're going to be like listening. But if you want to watch, Victory Plus has it all too on the for free. So just make an account, you sign in, you can watch and pick the away feed if you want to listen to me, and I can understand if you don't. So if you want to listen to my fellow broadcaster Regan Bartel, you can listen to him on the home broadcast. So there you go. Okay,
we'll have to get a player or a coach on when you guys are back leading into when you finally have a home game on the 30th. That'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely, boys. It's like Groundhog Day a little bit. Some days on the road, you wake up, you're in a new city, and it's just kind of like another day, another practice. I love it though. It's a lot of fun.
All right, and we love having you on the show. Have a good call tonight, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
Matt Barrett, he is the play-by-play voice for your Edmonton Oil Kings, joining us on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Love talking to him. The Oil Kings have won 9 in a row. They are 18-4-2 on the season. That's a .792 points percentage. That is second best. So they lead the Eastern Conference in points, but the PA has 4 games in hand. PA's points percentage is .850. Like, how would you like to be .792 and you got the second best points percentage in the conference? So both those teams doing great. The Oil Kings really score a ton. 110 goals for, only 69 against. PA's kind of the opposite. PA's only allowed 51, have 82-4. So great to see the Oil Kings doing well. We'll have to do some interviews when they're back in town, because we've talked to them twice.
I know.
Since they've had a home, because we talked to them when they were going into Medicine Hat, as Washington scores 2 minutes and 17 seconds into the game. We love talking to Matt Barrett from the Oil Kings, and I didn't quite see the Washington goal, but I'll give you a quick recap once we see it. Did you catch it?
It looked like a point shot that was deflected, but I mean, I know the start for the Oilers. I mean, I think in the first 10 seconds they had a grade A scoring chance with Leon Draisaitl, and they were unable to bury it. But
that's a deflected puck.
Who deflected it?
Wilson?
Tom Wilson.
So Skinner made the save, and then...
So that'll just be an unassisted goal?
Protus... No, there'll be an assist.
Yeah.
Wilson will get an assist.
Beauty. And
then Protus beating Kulak to the rebound and putting it in the open net. Shots 3-0 Capitals. So, yes, here we go with the Oilers.
Well, hey, leg one of Jay's play of the day.
So now if McDavid gets a point, you're good?
2 points.
Oh, McDavid has to get 2 points.
Yeah.
Well, he might. You know my level of optimism overall with the team.
Have you looked at Protus's contract?
I have not, actually.
5-year contract. He's in the second year of it. 3.375.
So Frederic-esque, but shorter?
But shorter. And he put up 66 points last year. Not bad.
So in the first year of the deal, he put up. So coming off that, he'd never had more than 29. Yeah, he had a hell of a year last year.
He did.
Now, a lot of Capitals did. I mean, I think maybe Washington overachieved last year. I think they sort of were riding the wave of the Ovechkin chase, and then they got beat fairly soundly once they got to Carolina in the postseason. I mean, credit to what they did. I think for them, can a lot of guys from last year do that again? Dubois hurt. He was tied with Protus for 66 points last season. Now, Wilson last year had 65 points on 100 penalty minutes. He's actually on pace to do better point-wise. And he already has 45 PIMs this year. Could you what if Tom Wilson had a 80 points, 200? Ooh, Leon almost scored on a one-timer. Oh, and Thompson's diving around. I don't know where he went after Leon shot the puck. What if Thompson or Wilson, had a 82 point, 200 penalty minute season?
That'd be awesome
in this day and age. That doesn't happen very often. Like would you think it's fair? And people could tell us what they think too, by the way. You can still chime in on the nasty chat. Give us a thumbs up as well. Let's try to get to 100 on this side of the show too. And you can text us 780-218-9999. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Like there are fewer players like Tom Wilson than there used to be. Like you look back, the Talkets of the world and those types of players. I guess they've always been, a true power forward that can score and fight and intimidate and hit has always been valued. But I feel there are fewer in that category. I mean, that's what the Oilers wanted Frederic to be, but he's not. Even Frederic, if he were playing better, he's not quite like those other guys. He's certainly not like Tom Wilson.
Well, but I mean, do you think kids growing up aspire to be like Tom Wilson, or do they aspire to be like Connor McDavid? I know Gager talked about it this afternoon on EST Afternoons and said, if I was a parent of a kid that, because the McDavids of the world, and like that's something you can't really just teach that or learn that.
Right.
That's God-given ability. So for a lot of kids that are bigger, I mean, why not try fit that Tom Wilson mold? You're going to find a lot of work if you're playing like that.
Yeah. But you have to have that attitude too, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Make the Michigan fan saying Wilson is the modern day Shanahan. That's a pretty good comparison
Sure.
as well. I mean, we mentioned
Bigger, though.
We were talking about Keith Tkachuk in the first half of the show. He was like that. I mean, there was Lucic in his prime, and quite frankly, even Lucic his first year as an Oiler filled that role, and then his play dropped off after that. Yeah, but Wilson's a very unique player. And look, we're talking about him probably being on Team Canada. Like, I can't see how he's not on the Canadian Olympic team.
Look, I know the Oilers are down 1-0 right now, but they've been doing a heck of a lot in the offensive zone.
Well, they're playing a little better since they got scored on.
They started out, Reid. I'm telling you, I know you were in the interview with Matt, but Leon had a wicked opportunity 10 seconds into the game.
But see, this is the difference. And I've talked about that. How does it feel when you're watching it? When the Oilers have been playing well, when they've had these good teams the last couple of years, most of the time you feel like, okay, they gave up a goal. Like, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Right? Make it 2-0, by the way.
There you go.
Point shot, Skinner screened. There we go. 2-0 Caps. This game's over already. But so what's happening here? They give up the first goal.
Yep.
Like, it happens. And then what do? They can't finish their chances. They give up another goal. I think Ovechkin tipped this one. They're showing him on the camera. But see, this is the thing. These teams make simple plays, first of all. So let's see what happens here. Beauvillier pushes Kulak off the puck. Washington gets it, swings it back to the point, swings it to the other side, double screen. So Ovechkin's the high guy. So Ovechkin tips this by the hash marks. So he changes the direction of the puck, and then there's an Oilers, he gets away from Regula, and then there's an Oilers defenseman battling with a Washington player in front of the net. So, but these are the Oilers challenging here? Was it offside, or is this just a delay? We'll see. But this is, how many times do the Oilers score a goal like that, where it's a point shot that gets tipped or goes through a screen? They don't score nearly as many goals like that as they give up.
Right.
So I think part of that is, and I talked about this with Skinner last year, I don't think enough screenshots hit him for a goalie his size, right? And then the Oilers don't simplify. Again, it's let's get into the zone and dangle. Like the Bouchard had a chance about a minute before the Oilers scored. He was in a shooting position. He tried one last dangle to try to get right in front of the net for a more open look. It gets poke checked. Like, how often do the Oilers just work it back to the point and fire it through and get it on net? They don't have that mentality, and that really frustrates me.
But the difference is, and I guess, mentality, will, desire. I mean, Ovechkin had to fight to get that spot. He had to fight to work for that position.
Yeah.
He's willing to do that. And I mean, that's a goal scorer's tip. You can't take that away. I don't know if you could necessarily say, oh, that's on Skinner. That's a world-class tip from, 30 feet out.
Right.
But he worked to get to that position. Are the Oilers...
Our feet appears to be a little bit behind here, Jay. Let's see what happens. As Draisaitl carries the puck in, drops to McDavid. Oh, a point shot, and it went in. The goal I was just talking about. Are you kidding me? But they just did what I said they should do.
Who got that? Nurse?
I think Nurse shot it. Now, that might have been deflected. Why?
Because
you get the puck into the offensive zone and you send people to the net.
If this is what we thought, we're just watching the replay, and yes, we are known to have a stream that is behind. So McDavid to Nurse.
That's straight in. Podkolzin waved at it, but he didn't touch it.
He didn't touch it? Are you sure? I think he did.
Maybe Podkolzin did get a chunk of it.
Oh, look at him fighting for position, Reid. In the crease, or above the crease. I think he did touch it.
So 2-1 Washington, unless someone scored into the 20 seconds that we're behind.
Well, somebody in the nasty chat said 3-1 Washington.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, there's one McDavid point, Reid.
Yeah.
There's
no, I get this. Rip City Step is correcting me in the Nats chat that the Oilers D leads the league in shots. That's fair. I just don't feel
shots,
like
but
they're
like on net, right? I mean that. Like, do you mean shots or shots on like attempts or shots on net?
Well, maybe it's just that they don't. Okay, so maybe they don't have enough people going to the net then.
Well, there's Pod Colson parked in front of the net again.
So maybe, I guess maybe that would be what I'm saying, Rip, is that how many times are the Oilers creating havoc in front of the other team's net? How much are they scoring on a screen or a rebound? So the Capitals have a goal on a tip puck that was the rebound, and then they have a goal on a tip puck, both coming in from the point. Now then the Oilers get one from the point. So I don't know. I think that, again, that to me, that's part of the whole thing we're talking about the Oilers. They're not, well, again, it's what Novak said, they're too soft in front of their own net. I think they're too soft in front of the other team's net too, quite frankly. But they got a goal. So it's 2-1 Capitals just past the 6-minute mark of the first period. So we'll keep an eye on this one.
2 of the 3 legs of Jay's play of the day have hit.
Okay, so what do we need again?
Another McDavid point, and she cashed.
Oh, you're right. Those are 2 legs.
It might cash before we end the show, Reid.
We might.
What are we going to do?
Well,
this will be the first time Jay's play of the day is cashed live on the show.
We'd have to, I don't know, go home early.
It'd be up for an Esty.
Moment of the year.
Play of the year.
There we go.
Yes.
Keep giving us the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. If you have already given us a thumb for this show, send the show link off to somebody else. The thumbs reset when Tom took over the stream at 4. Of course, we are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Win big this football season at the Canadian Brewhouse. Score your shot at a trip to the Super Bowl, weekly prizes, and more, plus $1 off Budweiser and Bud Light tankards. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. All right, we got buying or selling. We got fired up. We got our words of the day all ahead. Here's El Cubo.
The Oilers and Capitals are underway in the first period, about 8 minutes into action. The Oilers trail the Capitals 2-1. Alexi Protas and Alex Ovechkin scoring for Washington. Darnell Nurse for the Oilers. That's his 4th of the season. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl with the helpers. 3 other games in the NHL tonight at 5:30. The Flames and Sabres drop the puck before Carolina visits Minnesota and Anaheim plays host to Boston. And for the Bruins, Charlie McAvoy is out after undergoing facial surgery to repair an injury he suffered when taking a puck to the face against the Habs on Saturday. There's no timeline for his return. From Kelowna, the Oil Kings battle the Rockets. Edmonton looking for 10 straight wins. Puck drop at 8 o'clock. In CFL news, the Elks have extended Noah Curtis and Cordell Jackson. Jackson signing through 2027. Curtis is locked up for next season. There's 9 games on the NBA slate, 3 games underway. Raptors up 19-15 on the 76ers halfway through the opening quarter. Also in the first, the Hornets trail the Pacers 23-22 with 5.5 minutes left to go in the opening frame. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Reid and Jay continue the show after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Chris Johnson joined us.
The Oilers are in a unique spot. It has not been a good first quarter part of the season. I'm not here to try to sell you a monorail and say, hey, what you're watching, it's actually looks a little better than what you're seeing. I do still think that they're going to be a team that's the buyer as the deadline approaches. I do think that there's help coming, but that help, when's it going to arrive? The trade deadline's March 6th. That help might still be 3 months away from coming through the door.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Celebrate the holiday season with the Tenors. Joy to the World Tour at River Cree, December 19th. From timeless classics to fresh renditions of favorites, the Tenors arrive just in time for Christmas. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
All right, Ryan Leonard scoring for the Capitals, so it's 3-1. What are we, a little under, around 9 minutes left in the first period.
That was a post there.
Yeah, they almost got another one as the Oilers, once again, generally getting dominated in front of their own net. The Leonard goal, scrambly play in the neutral zone. Capitals finally got it, worked in. Bad coverage by the Oilers. Leonard goes up high on Skinner, who was beaten on 3 of the first 7 shots. I wonder if I'm going to predict Pickard's in net when we come back from commercial. We've seen Knobloch do this before. He'll change during the TV timeout as opposed to during the game. We'll see.
What's it? 3 goals on what?
I think
7
it was 3 on
shots?
7. I guess they probably got a couple more shots there after the goal. Almost scored again. Yeah, the Oilers are I actually think they're getting worse.
Hard to believe.
The 2 games they won on this road. Now, to be fair, they actually played a solid game in Philadelphia. They didn't score. They survived the offside challenge, which was offside, and they win it in overtime. Fine. Then who they beat them? I don't remember all the games anymore. They lost the second game of the trip. They easily could have lost in Carolina. That was Skinner's probably second best game of the season, right? And then all around bad against Buffalo. And this is a pretty poor start against the Washington Capitals.
Does it seem to you like this team has incredible affinity to allow a goal after they've scored?
Well, that's a good point. That's happened a few times this year.
It just seems to happen so often with this team.
Yeah.
Here you get some momentum back in the game and then deflate it.
Now look at this replay again. This is how lousy they are. A Washington player, this is the one that went off the post, right? And got jammed in the crease. There's there's a Washington guy all alone in front of the net. And there's Oilers around. There's Oilers around and nobody's taking him. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, they need better goaltending. There's no doubt about that. But they also need better all-around play. They're not defending well enough. I don't think their forwards are good enough. And they're just getting whacked over and over again. and Savoy fans on an open chance in front. This is mental as much as I think there are problems with the roster, but this is mentally. Wilson just tossed Savoy's side. So yeah, this is going to be a bad one tonight.
Yeah. Get the next one.
Probably. Well,
probably.
Hey, the more goals there are, the more likely it is McDavid gets another point and your play of the day cashes.
Yeah. That's all that matters right now. Well, in my world.
Yeah, fair enough.
And those that rode.
8 minutes left in the first period.
I mean, unless you're an Oilers fan, you're
3-1 for the Washington
hoping
Capitals.
they can gut this through. But it's not looking all that good. In fact, it's looking terrible, Reid.
Well, the next goal's big. I mean, 3-2 with a lot of the game left. If they can get out of this period down a goal, then it's like, okay. All right. Just debating if I want to respond to that person. Shaggy, you're seriously coming in here with a 2-5 road trip when I said that before the road trip? How to step up, big boy.
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
Little Reidrick's all over this.
All right, time for buying or selling. Damon Bunting, presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or the Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Well, the chat's ahead of us. Apparently, Darnell Nurse is going to score on our screen in about 15 seconds.
You said the next goal is big.
Well, then can the Oilers not?
Well, can they
even if they don't
not
make it
give it up?
Even if they don't make it 3-3 immediately, can they at least keep it 3-2 for an extended period? Well, point shot straight. You know what? Thomson's not having a great for you guys. I don't think either goalie's made a save tonight.
Yeah, it's rough for the goalies.
Yeah, everything's. The Oilers have 2 goals on 6 shots. Capitals have 3 goals on 7.
Rip City step point shots for the win. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So face off. So see, there's the value of Hyman. Washington won the face off. Hyman beats everybody to the corner and gets the puck quickly out to Nurse, who shoots and scores. Like that's what was missed with Hyman. That forechecking and that pursuit of the puck.
Hard work? Effort?
Yeah.
Trying, giving a damn.
Determination. Sorry, that was the 7th. Now they changed the shots to 7-7. So 2 on 7 for the Oilers, 3 on 7 for the Capitals, 7.5 left in the first period. So my buying or selling is about Zach Hyman. Perfect timing. Buying or selling, Zach Hyman is on the Canadian Olympic team. Craig Button did his roster about a week ago. He put Hyman on the team. And at that point, Hyman hadn't even played a game.
Ooh. I mean, I guess if you see more things like that and more of what he did in Carolina, then you would think. But I'm gonna sell, Reid. I'm gonna sell. I just don't know if he'll have enough. I mean, he missed the first 14, 16 games?
Well, more than that. This is only his
I guess 17, 18 games. Yeah. I just don't know.
I think he's got a really good chance to be on the team. I'm going to buy. I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to say Hyman can make the Olympic team just because, Skinner made a save on a wide open shot. Boy, the Oilers give up a lot of open shots, don't they? I just think they're looking for work ethic. They're looking for, obviously results. I mean, this is the thing. Like, Hyman is a hard-working, determined player, but he's also skilled. I mean, that's why, he could fit it. He got 50 goals. Mm-hmm. He usually scores around 30 or more if he plays the whole season. So I just think, he's already started well here, and you see the value of the little things that he does, right? And that's why a player like, Dylan Strome, who's the first-line center for the Capitals and had a ton of points last year, he's not on the team. Not that he's not a good player, but I think they look at, okay, who does all these little things?
Yeah, he's a little things guy for sure, but there's a lot of other talented players and a lot of other little things people too. I guess, if you want to recreate, but okay, would he be on the first unit power play with Team Canada?
No, he probably wouldn't be on the power play.
Wouldn't be on the power play. Then if he's not on the power play, taking up that net front presence, then I would still sell. I mean, we talked about Tom Wilson earlier and how I think he's playing his way into like a lock on Team Canada. Is that not the same guy?
Which guy?
Tom Wilson and Zach Hyman? I mean, Tom Wilson's leading
they
their
would
team in
fulfill
scoring.
similar roles, sure. Yeah.
So how many guys like that can you have on that team?
Well, lots. If you forecheck and dig for the puck and are physical, I think there's always room for wingers like that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Fair point.
I think you could have both Hyman and Wilson on Team Canada. Like, and to me, so we saw Hyman's impact tonight, and then what that goal in Carolina when he got the blue line, right? Took the hit, made the drop pass. Like, he got the second assist.
Yeah.
But that's what the Oilers don't have for most of their forwards. Like, Mangiapane doesn't make that play. Frederic doesn't make that play. You know, certainly Tomashek doesn't make that play.
The Oilers
Colson, to a degree, maybe can try to make that play.
The Oilers are lost in their own zone, Reid. Look at this.
Yeah,
why is there nobody there?
When that shot was taken, Carlson took that shot coming down the right wing. When he released the puck, all 5 Oilers were on the other half of the ice.
What's going on in their own zone? It's like they've never played.
That's what I
defensive
was saying.
hockey.
Like they've never played together before.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to watch like a good YouTube tutorial.
Anyway, lots of chances.
It's exciting. Exciting hockey. Can't argue that.
If you didn't care who won, you'd be like, 5 goals at 15 minutes. Let's settle it. All right. 780-218-9999 is how you text the afternoon inbox, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Oh, I have another buying or selling for you.
Hit me, baby.
This is kind of random.
Okay.
Basketball and other court sports should be in the Winter Olympics.
Oh. Like, because they're indoor?
Yeah. Like, why does the NBA get the benefit of not having to interrupt their season, and the NHL has to?
Because the NHL is a winter sport.
There aren't enough events in the Winter Olympics. You know, there was a great phrase I read about the Winter Olympics. It's a hockey tournament with a bunch of quirky events on the side. You know, like, okay, ski, but like some of these, like, you know, all the, you know, luge and skeleton and the freestyle skiing, like that, those are quirky events, you know? Those are the what's the skateboarder's name? Those are the Tony Hawk events of the Winter Olympics.
So you think volleyball, basketball, pickleball, what are some other...
I don't think pickleball's in the Olympics yet. I think basketball should be in the Winter Olympics. Like, think of having the basketball tournament and the hockey tournament going on at the same time.
It's not very wintry, though, basketball.
But that's the thing. Why does it have to involve ice or snow? I mean, hockey was in the Summer Olympics, like in the 1920s.
Maybe they just need to play outdoors. Outdoor basketball or stadiums. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? You're buying that?
Yes, I think there should be more events in the Winter Olympics. Because so much is packed into the Summer Olympics.
True. So this could take some of the pressure off of the Summer Olympics.
Yes,
and allow more time for the track and field.
And then maybe you have you have others. I mean, obviously basketball gets a lot of attention anyway, but imagine the NHL guys and the NBA guys like at the same Olympics at the same time.
Star power.
Why not like volleyball? Have it in the Winter Olympics. People go inside to watch it. Beach volleyball, leave it in the Summer Olympics. But I think the Winter Olympics need some more mainstream, well-known sports besides hockey.
Ooh.
Bouchard had a good chance. Good pass from McDavid. Yes, I know.
Yeah, I guess, Reid, that's a good... Like, why is basketball a summer sport?
Yeah.
It's indoors.
It's indoors. The season is the same as the hockey season, but yet basketball gets to do their Olympics in the summer. Hockey has to do theirs in the winter and shut down the season for 2.5 weeks. Oilers going to the power play. Okay, this is supposed to be the Oilers' advantage in this game.
You called it.
This is the special team, so we'll see. But you're selling, though? You'd leave basketball in the Summer Olympics?
No, I'm indifferent.
All right.
I'm equal. I you know this. I love
Tom
the
Wilson
Olympics.
penalty. Did you have that, too?
No, I didn't. I wish.
Adding to his total.
Connie Mack. That boy, Connie.
Here, Captain Connie going to the power play attack.
Well, this should be interesting.
I agree. 4:41 left in the first period. Oilers down 3-2, approximately, because we're a little bit behind. I think some of you. This is all the feeds are at different time. Like, have you ever at home the same game is on two different Sportsnet channels and you change from one to the other, and it's like, oh, this is like a 5-second difference.
Yeah. Like, so we're on the Sportsnet feed here, but it's clearly different than
it's
those
coming
that
through
are
your
at home.
computer. So
It's got a lot of cables.
Sorry if we're a little bit behind, everybody. I mean, we're watching the same game.
But you can see our reactions. Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, and we like that people are putting it in the chat. It's all good. Give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. We'll go to a break here. When we get back, we'll tell you how the Oilers' power play went. Here's the Coop.
About 3 minutes left to go in the first period. The Oilers trail the Capitals 3-2. Darnell Nurse with 2 goals in the game. The Oilers on the power play. And just getting underway, it's the Flames and Sabres. They're scoreless about 3 minutes into the contest. After that, the Hurricanes and Wild go at it before the Bruins and Ducks drop the puck. And for the Bruins, Charlie McAvoy is out after undergoing facial surgery to repair an injury he suffered when taking a puck to the face against the Habs Saturday. No timeline on his return. And from the Kelowna, the Oil Kings battle the Rockets. Edmonton looking for 10 wins in a row. Puck drop for that one at 8 o'clock. In CFL news, the Elks have extended Noah Curtis and Cordell Jackson. Jackson signed through 2027. Curtis locked up for next season. Over to the NBA. There's 4 games live. 9:30 left to go in the second quarter between the Raptors and 76ers. Toronto up by 2 points, leading 35-33 in the Heat. And Warriors are just getting underway in the first. Miami leading 4-0 early on. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The EST Hangout.
I came through town 3 or 4 years ago in the heart of winter, and we went out and had a night, and I biffed it. There's like that park on 108th Street towards Jasper. I was taking him for his first donair. It was probably like 3:30 in the morning. I wiped out. But I was okay. I got up like a cat.
As long as you didn't have the donair with you and then everywhere.
The donair kind of
protect the donair.
Yeah,
the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Sentinel Storage is proud to partner with Toy Mountain in support of Big Brothers Big Sisters Boys and Girls Club. Between now and December 19th, drop off a new unwrapped toy at a Sentinel Storage near you and bring a smile to a child this holiday season.
Hockey is heating up, and so is the excitement on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code EST50. That's code EST50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense.
EST Afternoons.
I was all up in arms earlier this morning when I saw these lines. I was like, what the hell is not doing? Why do I get so upset 6 minutes into the game? We know what's going to happen.
Oh, I know. Yeah. You know what's interesting, though, with the lines was where Hyman is right now. Maybe he's looking for some sort of balance. I'm sure Knobloch doesn't want to have to Oppenheimer at every single
EST
game.
Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Where holiday cheer meets great beer. This season, celebrate at the Canadian Brewhouse. From plated dinners and festive buffets to casual pub-style parties, we've got the perfect space for your crew. Book your holiday party today at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
the oil stream.
Well, yesterday, all I did was tweet an eyes emoji about Justin Bourne's tweet of Bushby on Team Canada. Some guy replied to me, he's like, oh, just an eyes emoji, eh? Don't want to stand up for an Edmonton Oiler? You're a coward. I honestly don't know what to say anymore because no matter what you say about this team on X, somebody will disagree with you.
The oil stream presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us. If you're taking us in on YouTube, you can give us a thumbs up. If you've already given us a thumbs up, click share, send the show link off to somebody else. Tell them to check us out. Give us a thumbs up. You can post in the nasty chat as well. 30 seconds left in the first period. Oilers train the Capitals 3-2. Darnell Nurse with both goals for the Edmonton Oilers. Let's get fired up. For Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need, available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. First period over, 3-2 Capitals.
Tomashek had almost a nice pinch there.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
The NHL came out with their quarter mark, I guess, update results, stats,
right? Okay.
For the quarter mark of the 2025-26 regular season. Interesting numbers here. 76% of the playing time has been tied or within one goal.
76% of the playing time. I wonder what that is compared to other years. Do they say?
It's the highest rate in 88 years.
Really?
Tied. Only the tied.
Okay.
Highest rate in 88 years.
And I think, isn't there more overtime than there usually is already? I think the Sportsnet had something like that. There's been a lot of overtime games. Well, the Oilers have already had 9.
That's
themselves.
76% playing with tied or within one goal is up 10% from last season.
Oh,
so
wow.
This time last year was 66%.
Okay.
43% comeback wins. That's top 3 rate in NHL history at this stage of the season, and it's plus 8% from last year. So last year at this time is 35%.
Okay.
81% of the games have been deemed as close games, 1 goal margin or 2 with empty net goal. This is the highest rate in NHL history.
Oh, really?
81% of the games have been close games. Plus 9 over the previous high read. 9% higher than the previous high.
Okay.
I don't even know, why would that be?
Yeah, the NHL loves this because they can go around saying parity.
Exactly.
I mean, we'll see.
I thought this was pretty interesting. The NHL Edge has different stats: hardest shot, fastest skater,
okay,
yada yada yada. The maximum skating speed, highest skating speed. Who do you think?
Connor
McDavid. 24.6 miles per hour.
So the peak that anybody's ever hit all season.
Yes.
Okay.
20 plus mile per hour speed bursts. Who leads in that category?
I'll say McDavid again.
Connor McDavid.
Okay.
He's had 166 of them. Miles skated.
Total distance skated.
This season.
Okay, now here's the thing. You're asking me this, which makes me think it's McDavid, but defensemen do play more, but McDavid skates around a lot. I'll still say McDavid.
Well, and I mean, how many overtime games have they had, too? McDavid.
Oh, yeah, so he'd be circling around in overtime.
Miles skated this season, Reid.
That's crazy.
How many miles do you think Connor McDavid has skated?
I wouldn't even know. 9.5.
87.15 miles Connor McDavid has skated in the first 21 games. Do you know that means the equivalent of Connor McDavid skating from Edmonton to the donut mill in Red Deer? That's how far he's skated.
Oh, nice.
This
That's
season.
a nice comparison.
Well, who doesn't like the donut?
To get a donut.
To go get a donut. I'm just going to skate there. In a game, who has skated the most?
In a single game?
One game.
Oh. Was it still McDavid?
It's McDavid.
Jeez. Okay.
4.83 miles he skated in one game. That is incredible.
That's interesting.
Dan Vladar has the highest high danger save percentage at .885. 90-plus mile-per-hour shots. Who do you think that is?
Who has the most 90?
Who has the most 90-plus mile-per-hour shots?
Oh, wow. I don't know who would that be. I'm going to say...
I think when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
McCarr.
Tampa.
Hedman? Okay.
Good one.
It is Hedman?
It is Hedman.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought those were interesting.
Those are good.
I like when these come out.
Yeah, those
It's
are
kinda
fun
neat
little
to-
quirky stats, quarter of the way through the season. And you did the right thing. You said the quarter mark of the season because the quarter pole in horse racing is the final quarter of the race. The quarter pole indicates there's only a quarter left to go. I used to have Ryan Batty. He used to be big with Copper and Blue. He always would say that.
You're so smart.
Word of the well, let's credit Ryan. Word of the day for Edmonton Public Library. They got a Cooking for a Cause program with the holiday season just around the corner. It's the perfect time to book a team building event or family gathering, and Cooking for a Cause certainly will do that. You get a group of people in an interactive cooking experience with a chef at the Milne Library, EPL.ca. Look for Cooking for a Cause. All right.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Okay, first word of the day. Crucible. Crucible.
Crucible. And I think this is something sort of like a difficult, arduous task or journey.
Interestingly enough, Crucible has two definitions you could go with. One is referring to a difficult test or challenge, like you said.
Okay.
It is also, in a literal use, a pot in which metals or other substances are heated to a very high temperature or melted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you were going to melt down your gold chain, you'd put it in a crucible.
So I had to I had to deal with a crucible of tasks to get my medal to the crucible.
Yeah, you could say that.
All right.
2 for 2, not bad.
And as Rip City Step says, it's also a play. The crucible is a play.
Second word of the day, akimbo. Akimbo.
AKIMBO.
Say that again.
AKIMBO. And I believe this is sort of bent or twisted in a variety of different directions.
Dun, da, da, da.
I'm on fire, baby. Yeah.
4 for 4.
Yeah, this is the thing. I nail words of the day 2 days in a row. No one cares. I say one thing about the Oilers that's off by 0.10%. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Reid.
Oh, baby, that was good. That fired me up.
That did feel pretty good. More fired up for Gemco. Akimbo. I was
gonna
knocked
say,
over with my limbs all akimbo.
I was going to say the bookbinder sits at his desk with his legs akimbo.
That's right. Oh, these pages are akimbo. I must consolidate them into a well-bound book.
This is a fun show.
All right, so here's what's happening. We're leaving. Well, we're done on air. Tom Gazzola on right after the game on Edmonton Sports Talk, on YouTube, on iHeartRadio, on TuneIn Radio with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show. First intermission, Oilers trailing the Capitals 3-2. Nurse with both goals for the Oilers. On behalf of Zach Kubish and Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Take care.